Hello and welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space, and today I'm having a look at one of the last prompts for the Junk Journal July with favourite quote. But look, we are really filling up. This is just from 1 month, 1 month of creative energy and intrigue and excitement and just bursting full of ideas, things that I would never have done if I hadn't set myself the challenge. Just putting on some final touches here and there, and I'm going to do 1-page spread for the prompt of favourite quote. I just noticed that earlier, so I'm hiding that marketing, and I'm using my little map, vintage map card here with the bird on it, and I just thought that's a really quick, simple way of creating a tuck spot and still allowing writing space. And I'm just going to put this cluster down as well, because that is a good way to just quickly give your page something to go on. And you can tuck extra bits in there, and just that is super quick, but made easy if you have spent some time, maybe one weekend, and you've made some of these elements that you can then just add into your page, and then you could go, right, now I want to journal about what happened in the week. You have got journaling space, you can add photos, pictures, you can staple on things that you found on your visits, and you know, that is a very simple way of doing things. So that finishes off what was there. I haven't got too many more full pages, and I am going to do a flip through at the end, but this is the centre spread, and I wanted to put my quotes here, so I'm quite excited. I haven't really liked this page. I've been avoiding it, to be fair, all the way through the journal, because it's the centre page, so I wanted something good, but also I've got this quite dark colour and this vivid electric blue, so I'm not really sure what I was going to do until I had a little message from a subscriber. She will know who she is when I mention what I'm about to do. So she mentioned that she has a lot of acrylic marker pens and what to do with them, and I thought, well, actually I've got some as well. I don't have any fancy ones. We bought this for the purpose of painting on rocks and doing pictures on rocks. So if I find my rock that I actually did paint using these pens, I will leave a picture at the end of my painting. It was a paperweight. It's around here somewhere, because I have used it, but it's got lost in the abyss. Anyway, we will find it at some point. So if you've subscribed to the channel and keep watching, I'm sure you'll have a sighting of my pen, my paperweight that I use these pens. So these are just cheap and cheerful ones. I didn't spend a great deal of money on them at all, but they are acrylic paint pens, and I've got 2 colours here that I want to use. So for acrylic paint pens, you have to give them a shake and mix the paint inside, and then you get a nib. See, I've not used this one, and usually you get a rounded end and then you get a chiselled end. Sorry, I'm covered in paint, I've been doing something else. So I think we'll want the rounded end, but it's quite useful to know that you've got those. And then what you do is you have to pump them. So to get them going, see the ink, oh, not the ink, was the paint. The paint is now seeping down. Let's move that out of the way. So for this prompt, it is favourite quote. I'm also going to have a look at one of our letters to Mrs. Betty Fosbury, and this is on the 2nd of July 1968, and we've got this letter, so I'll have a little read of that, but I'll just get underway here with something with these acrylic paint pens. And what I had thought to do is I just want to take down some of this colour, and I'm just putting dots, which is what you can do on the stones as well. You can do Aborigine designs, you could do mandala designs. So I'm just doing dots on this interesting background here where we can see I've got the flower image. And that came from a stamp, so I just pushed that into acrylic paint. So I'm actually now putting my dots. I can't really see the pattern, so it's not in any particular order. But it's quite pleasing to just sit here and doing dots on the page. So there we go, that's a use. Just put some dots in the corner of your page, choose a colour that you like, and then just do some dots, go round in a circle, and then go round again. Because that's quite therapeutic, even if you just do the dots and then sort of step away and go and have a cup of tea and think, well, that's all right, I did dots on paper. And then next time, come back and do some more dots. It's quite nice on the junctions. Just having a little play. It's only paper, it's not going to, doesn't matter. Can't get it wrong. If I hate it, I'll rip it out. If I get the urge, I'll squash it and have an image over here. An image over there. Can't go wrong. We can go wrong, but then that's just a challenge, isn't it? To then try and think outside of the box. And in doing so, you overcome it. You overcome whatever the problem was with whatever was on the page that you didn't like, and then you can fix it. You know, we can fix everything, anything. Nothing's unfixable. We can make mistakes, but in doing so, we've got to remember that we've learnt something. So I think this prompt here about the quotes is an interesting one because it's thought provoking. Yeah. So, and also the journey of journaling is also for everyone going to be a personal one, and it's very difficult to it's difficult to comment on what people are going through, and to be mindful that everybody has something that they are going through at all times. We all have that. That's what connects us. We're human. We care. We need kindness. We need creativity. We need to know how to move forward in something. And if we can glean that from others, so much the better, because we feel support, we feel community. That's one of the things that we need. And this is a community. We do have that. We have that here. We have that here on YouTube for the junk journaling community. And it is about finding scraps and putting it in a journal. It is about finding shreds and shards and making something out of that. And then if we've got things going on for us that are also in tatters, well, we've got the ability to know that we can put it right. We can reinvent, recreate. If you didn't like it, change it. If it's not working, move on. If someone's upset you and continues to upset you, evaluate that relationship. Is that a red flag? Is that helping you? You know? We've been reading the letters. We've been learning about Neville and Nellie Brown and her relationship to her son and how she felt that he hasn't visited her. And then people in the family having it in for him because he hasn't looked after his mother. But what is going on for Neville? That's what I want to know. We feel sorry for Neville in the stories, as we've found out in some of the letters earlier on in this challenge. You know, everybody's got things going on for them. And that's why journaling is important. It's a time to just sit quietly processing all of those thoughts. And if dots on the paper helps you to access that part of your brain and allow you to process and feel the feelings as they come bubbling up about all the different things that may be going on for you and others around you, then it's a well worth use of your time. You are not wasting your time by putting dots on paper, because the dots on paper is a monotonous, hypnotic task, and then it allows your brain to go to a place where you otherwise wouldn't be going if you were watching the television, or if you were doing something where you had to have your focus, like cooking, where you can't really switch off from that task because you might hurt yourself if you're cutting something up or you're standing near somewhere hot. But putting dots on paper, and similar, something boring like ironing, you know, something like that. I find that boring. A lot of people don't. They find that there's a satisfaction in seeing a nice pile of freshly ironed linen and all the creases gone, and you made that happen. And I think that that's probably because that task didn't require a lot of brain power, so we can switch off and allow ourselves to think of other things. Go into automatic pilot, and before you know where you are, yes, you have got a lovely pile of nicely ironed linen or clothes. Everybody's different, or you may have found that you've driven somewhere, and before you know where you are, you've arrived at your destination and you're not 100% sure how you got there, because your brain went into autopilot and you were allowed to dream or drift it into other parts of your brain. But you were still able to get yourself from A to B. You would have switched back in. You were still observing the road. You were still present in the task. I'm present in the task. I'm doing my dots. I've got to put them in certain places. I'm making a video. I'm talking to you. I'm thinking about what I'm saying. I'm thinking about where this is heading. 101 different processes are going on in the background. But I'm also relaxing and I'm having fun. And I'm working out where this journey is taking me and what I want to achieve. I've been thinking about seizing the day recently and changing little things in my routine that make me feel happy, that make me move forward with my life. My life has changed. Everything changes. That's one thing we can rely on, is change. But it's sad when it happens, if it's an important part of your life that has moved on or changed or stopped. So yeah. Okay, we've got dots. Am I upside down? There we go. Dots, like stars in the sky. I like that. There we go. Right, what was I talking about? Oh, Nellie Brown. Okay, so we need to... I was going to bring in other colours, but I'm not sure it needs it. I don't think we want pink. So there we go. There's a use for your pens and dots on paper. And the coverage is excellent. So that has covered over black. It works to cover up you'd have to go over it a few times, but you would lose the black of that writing. So it is paint in a pen form. They started their life for graffiti artists. That's why they're good. And so that you will be able to write freely on all sorts of surfaces. So there you are. You can now go and be a graffiti artist with your kit of pens that you're not using. Okay, right, so I'm going to think about quotes. We've been thinking about travel in this journal because it is a bit more of a smaller, handy-dandy traveller's size. It's not a traveller's notebook, and it's can't move anything or take anything out, but it's just small and portable. It's a 7" by 7", so 7" by 7" there, but actually these pages are shorter. So that was just the cover, I believe. Where are we? I think is 6 1/4 the page length, and 6, yeah, about 6, just shy of 6 inches. So not big, but not small either. Squares, really good. I think the next journal I'm going to make a little bit longer. Right, where was I? Oh no, what have I done? I wasn't thinking, I was talking. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Another benefit, they dry really quickly. Phew. All right, I've chosen 2 quotes here. I don't know if they're favourite, but they definitely ring true of where I'm at with this journal this month. So I've got this: do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I think that's really great. I think that's, don't follow the crowd. Just do what's right for you, and leave a trail so that others can also decide if that's worth it for them. So that's from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He's founded lots of schools and things for children, just to think outside of the box. That's the message there. A very good candidate for anybody with a creative mind. So that is a good quote for me for this journal. And also a quote from Neil Donald Walsh, which is: life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And that rings with what I've said the other day about seizing the day and changing some things in your routine. So those are the quotes that I've chosen because this journal has sort of dictated some of that feel. I'm going to stick those down now and have them there. And then I thought the other thing that I think is really nice is to have poetry, and I have got a favourite poem, and I thought on the back, because this is just tissue paper, I would put my poem. I think I can get two verses, so I shall pull that out. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by. And that has made all the difference. Poem there, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Beautiful poem. Actually written by an American poet born in 1874. And he lived in, born in San Francisco, but lived in Massachusetts and taught for many years in Vermont, and he died in Boston in 1963. And so you can look up other poems there, but yes, I'm sure we've all had a road or a path that we didn't take. Maybe we chose another for many, many different reasons. That's made up our lives, and all the difference, as it says there. And but maybe with our Indian summer journal, which in England an Indian summer is viewed as a second chance for summer, with that concept, maybe, just maybe, as we advance in life, there's chance for revisiting some of these roads that we didn't take and maybe going back down them and having a little look and see where that leads us. So I'm just going to now put this in the journal because that is one of my favourites and one I had to recite when I was at school many, many moons ago. And so I hope I did it justice in my very English accent, this American poem. Yeah, my Surrey and Sussex accent. Okay, so then 5 years later on from that, so that was 1963 that Robert Frost passed away. We now have Nellie Brown in Liverpool. And she has reported in another letter that she feels that what with Betty's sister going away on holiday and her in hospital, the place, the little Neston where they live, the little village where they live, she said, what with the sister and me away, the place will be absolutely dead. Meaning there'll be no life or intrigue going on there at all, because she is clearly a bit of a life and soul or the spirit of the village. And in those days you would have definitely known everybody because it would have been, it's a very small place. There is a larger part to Neston, but the bit that they live in is just a little village, tiny. And there we go. So let's have a little look at this. So this comes from Nellie Brown, 1968. It's written on the 2nd of July, which I thought was lovely because we are dealing with the journal in July. So this is what July was like in 1968. My dear Betty, just a few lines as promised. You will see I'm still at the above. I have not been seen by the doctors yet, so I can't tell you when I will be going home. I was thinking of you all day Monday. I hope you are not having weather like us. The storms are terrible night and day since you went away, and it's still at it. I hope everything went off all right on Sunday and that you had a nice cup of tea at the cafe. I only saw Neville last night, Monday. It was too awful for anyone else to come. Well, dear, I hope you're having a good time and the family also. Bye-bye for now, Betty. I miss you. Take care of yourself. Fondest love and thank you for everything, dear. Yours, Brownie. Nellie Brown. And then we'll dissect that one in a second. Then she's also written a little letter to Chris, which is the little boy that Betty looks after, and he lives at one of the houses where they went to go and have the musical evening with his mother. But Betty takes care of him because she has a lot on. She has other children to look after. So Chris is at a loose end most of the time and Betty looks after him. Dear Chris, this is from Nellie to Chris, little Chris, who's a youngster. Dear Chris, I hope you will have a very nice holiday in London and nice weather. Take great care of Betty for me. Don't let a beefeater see her. He may put her in the bridge tower. Love to the girls. Bye for now. Nellie Brown. Or Mrs. Brown. Enclosed is what I promised you for digging up the worms. So Nellie Brown has given Chris a little bit of pocket money for digging up the worms. I think because they're tending to her garden and things while she's away. She was away in hospital for a month. She did come out, but then she sadly went back into the hospital again. And she has a heart condition. So it isn't great for Nellie Brown. But acts of kindness and keeping in touch and writing and everything, and yeah, sending pocket money to Chris, who's gone on holiday with Betty to London with the family. They've all gone for a break, so it must be well, it's July, so it's summer holidays for them all, and they've gone from Liverpool to London, which would have been a big adventure, and gone to the London. So if you're seeing a beefeater, you've gone to the Tower of London. Oh yeah, where you could have previously been beheaded if you were in the ancient history. So they would have been joking about that, which is lovely. So that was all lovely, and interesting that Neville came and visited after all the moaning that she never gets to see him. Who should come in the most horrific storms or most terrible storms that were going on night and day that nobody else has come to see her? Who should come but Neville? Ah, right, so Neville's not such a bad egg after all. He does visit his mum and really has put himself out in the most horrible of weather to come and visit her. So there we go. It's all fine. Let's just put that there. And that is our letter. So yes, Neville isn't as bad as they make out. I think that's another aunt or some relative writes in later and says that he's not of sound mind because he has this entanglement, or did have at one point, with people outside of his own faith, and that caused a problem for him. Yeah, but he was obviously, it's the 60s, just trying to explore other things and find out who you are in the world, probably, or who he was in the world. But there we go. So that's another letter from the past, and nice little sign off there, and just to take care and miss you and all of those things. And I think another little quote that I've really enjoyed from reading the letters is a nice sign off of "I'll be seeing you." I think that's wonderful. I'll be seeing you. Nice way to sort of end a letter. So yeah, I might add that sort of a quote from Uncle Johnny's letter into the journal as well. Okay, so that is my page. I'm not going to add another thing to it. It's as simple and I love it. It reminds me of a starry night sky with some wisdom coming at us from afar. And I think that the fact that these are tissue paper and lightweight is really nice. There's a little bit more strength now they've got that on the back. And I might just put something up there. There we go. I've added my poem in on that side and on that side, with the stickers just there to bring a little bit of interest up the top where there was a bigger space. And that's nicely hidden and can be behind those two pages that we've done today. So the prompt today was definitely helped by the acrylic paint pens as suggested by our subscribers here today, and I have just remembered where I put my rock that I painted using these pens. This pack of pens, not expensive at all. I can't remember where they came from or what even the make is. Colourful Art. They're just brights, and are you ready for this? This was a rock or a pebble. And using the pens, it became an apple with a friend. And I did that in 2020 when I was a bit bored. And there's the back of it. But it was an idea I saw on Pinterest. I thought, oh, that's very good, I'll have a go at that. And that was the result. A little, and then of course he can now come and help me with the journals. There we go, guys. So I hope you found some fun and value here and have enjoyed some of the inspirational talk and the poem. And I will be back tomorrow with the prompt for Sunday, which is number 31, farewell for this journal. And moving forward, I'll be doing a lot more in August. I'd love it if you carry on with me and continue to subscribe. Press the bell button so you know when I upload videos, and they will be coming out from now on, well, tomorrow will be Sunday, and then I should be doing Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. Okay, and you can look out for those, and I will endeavour to get them out at the same time every time, but that is largely down to internet connection, YouTube, and whatever pixies and fairies and magic that needs to make it all happen. But I will try and show up as best I can for you, and if you could just continue to communicate and give us a thumbs up and a comment below if you've been affected or entertained or felt something from any of my videos. Do let me know, and also what you would like to see more of, so that that will help me work out in what videos I can make in the future. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and above everything else, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.